What's up, guys? Your boy P here, and as you can see with my hat, today I want to talk about Cuba. I visited Cuba and had a blast, and I wanted to share all my adventures in Cuba. That's why I got my Che Guevara hat. So let's go. Before I get started, please subscribe, like this video, share with friends so I can grow, be better, make better video for you guys. Let's go. Your boy just walking here in Cuba con mi hermano Abdel. You can see I have the Che Guevara hat. I'm Cubano for the day. So we took a cruise from Miami to Havana and stopped in Key West. And guys, one of the best way to visit a new city is actually going on a cruise, because you get to spend one day in that city and get to explore that city at your pace, and then see if you like it or not, and then go back on the ship. And then if you really like that city, then you can book a later trip and then spend more days slow traveling that city or that country so you can enjoy it. And also the cool thing about cruising is the fact that you get to visit 3 or 4 new cities and then see if you like them, so you can revisit them in the future. So we took Royal Caribbean Majestic of the Sea, and our first stop was in Key West. I've been there already, so we did a short tour of Key West, had lunch, and got to see Key West. And as you guys know, Key West is the closest U.S. city to Cuba. It's only 80 miles away from Cuba. So we knew that we were going to do a tour when we got to Havana, but we didn't use those cruise ship tours because they're super expensive, and also they were doing buses where you'd be like with 40 other people. We wanted to kind of do a private tour, just my wife and I, and a guide. So we researched these companies, these tour companies, and we settled with this company called Nosotros Cubaneamos. And it's a bunch of professionals who actually, in their leisure, give tours of Havana and Cuba. I highly recommend them because they were super cheap. We pay 120 cook, which is that Cuban convertible peso, and so one cook is equal to $1. So it's very easy to do the exchange rate. So we had a whole day to explore. Our tour guy Abdel, the coolest guy ever, he pulled up in a 1955 Pontiac. And it was not a convertible one because we couldn't get one because we booked our tour late. So we didn't have convertibles anymore. But it was kind of cool to see these old school cars that you see in these old movies that still work in Cuba. And he gave us a tour of the whole city, the Old Havana, the New Havana. We saw the Hotel Nacional, which is their 5-star hotel, which is old school but still upscale. We saw the Plaza de la Revolucion. We saw the Westlandia, which is a very artsy little district that actually is a must stop when you go to Havana. He took us to La Floridita, and that's where it's the bar where Ernest Hemingway spent all his time there. And they actually have a little statue in the corner where he sat, and it's a must stop if you go to Havana. You got to go to La Floridita. And one thing I love about walking around Havana too is the fact that I love salsa music, and of course it originates in Cuba. And everywhere you go, you hear salsa music, people playing live salsa all over. It's a surreal feel when you walk around Havana, because you feel like you're walking in the past, because they haven't evolved really from when the Americans and Europeans used to be there before Fidel Castro. So they still have infrastructure of the 50s. So it's kind of like a time capsule type of thing where you travel into the past. So it's pretty cool, and also you get to see how bad Cubans have it. That's when you have to really enjoy what you have here. Like, you don't have a bad day in the U.S., it's the best day in Cuba. So really putting stuff in perspective. Our tour guide was telling us that he makes more money giving this tour than being a doctor in Cuba. He was telling us how the government takes care of you. They give you housing, free meal, even though when you go to supermarkets, you're lucky if they have what you want. They give you like those kind of food vouchers, and then free hospital health care. But their salaries are just ridiculous, like $50 a month. So it's, they still are a communist country, and you can't watch Western world TV or radio. He gave us an example of how, all the Cuban baseball players, professional players who defect and come play in the U.S., they're not even known. The big stars in the Major League Baseball here, they're not even known in Cuba because they don't advertise them at all. Like, to them, they're dead. Just to put stuff in perspective, our tour guide was telling us that if he were to leave the country, his Disney World type of country would be Guatemala. Can you believe that? Guatemala to him is like hitting the jackpot. One thing I have to say though, everybody seemed happy, and that's a cool thing to see. Just be happy what you have, and your circumstances, because you don't know, you don't choose where you're born. You don't choose. I grew up in Africa, so I can attest to that. And but it was a great trip. I highly recommend, if you can, to go to Havana and support the Cubans, because it's a cool little town. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoy, and please subscribe this video so I can make more of these videos, and I promise you guys I'll get better. I just need to put more time into this, and I will get better. But just keep watching, and please subscribe, like the videos, comment, let me know what you think, and thank you again.